today I want to share with you, I'm going to be doing a canvas for the Stamp and Stencil blog challenge, and it's Elements of Nature. So first off, this is an 8x8 flat canvas from Indigo Blue, and I always like to give my canvases a base coat of white Prima gesso, and I'll do that first. It doesn't need to be perfect. I just like to give it a coat. You don't have to, because in some cases they're already coated, but I just like to give mine. Something I've always done, so give it a quick coat, and it dries pretty quickly as well, so I can give it a quick blast. Now the elements of nature for me, I'm going with an autumn theme, and we've got a Virginia creeper in the front garden creeping up the fencing. And I've cut out some leaves, which I'm hoping to incorporate in my canvas. So that's that done. So I'll just leave that to one side for now, because I want to show you the leaves that I've taken from the Virginia creeper. And as you can see, this is really beautiful burgundy colour, and this is the green, and you can see it starting to change colour, and this one, and again this one where the green is really faded, and they're all different stages. And then there's that one which is, I think it's got real. So what I want to do, I'm going to give them a coat of Mod Podge. I just want to see how they react to the Mod Podge, because I'm hoping to, as I say, use them in my use a couple of them in my project to nestle my acorns and pine cone. So let's see how it goes. It seems to be taking them all right. Just want to strengthen it. And I know it will dry clear, but I just want to give it a coat. So can you see? So I'm hoping that will strengthen it and prevent it from crumpling when I use it. So I'm just going to quickly paint them all. And then see how I get on. I love I'm a hot weather person. I love the heat, but for me autumn is just amazing. The colours that nature throws at us with the changing of the leaves, the colours, and even the evergreens staying really rich. They seem to go darker in green. So I do love autumn, especially for the colours that we get. Anything from rust to burnt orange to yellows. I'm just going to give them a coat and just leave them to dry, and hopefully by the end, when I'm putting my canvas to finishing touches together, I'll be able to use some of these leaves. For the challenge, stamps and stencils, you need to use stamps as well as a stencil. So I've used Indigo Blue leaves and stamped them onto scraps of card that backgrounds I'd created using Brushos, and then I just stamped the leaves with Distress ink, ripe persimmon, ground espresso and wild honey. Here we are, and these are those. So that's my stamping, and as you can see, the background had greens and yellows, so I'm quite pleased with the colours they've come out. So you can just see, you know, kind of how the green of the leaf hasn't changed, similar to this one here, which you can just see the greens. And I've got a better one here, whereas kind of there's still green, but the oranges and russet colours are coming through. So I've got all them as well, so I want to use those. Right, so that's done. So we'll see how that goes on later in the video. Okay, right, I'm now going to use, just wipe this over, give this a quick blast, just dry it off. Okay, now that's dry. Now I want to use this tree stencil, and it's a Sheena Douglas tree. So I just want to place that on there like that. And I'm going to stencil through it with modelling paste, but I'm going to add brown paint to it. So if I take some of this off and put it on there and add some of the paint, which is Hot Cocoa by Indigo Blue. So I'm just going to add that. And I've got a lot because I want a dimension of my tree. Looks like cake mixture. I don't like chocolate cake. It just reminds me of the mixture before you put it into the pan. So I think I've got all that covered. I'll give it a nice deep take that off. I'm really pleased with that. So now I need to scrape that off. I'm going to introduce this, which is another Sheena stencil, and I just want to place this down here I don't want it all, I just want a few of the leaves. And there's enough of this that I'll be able to use it. So take that off. There we go. So clean up this mess. So that's my stenciling done. Right, so I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'll come back to it. So as you can see, I've got the leaves and I've got the nice tree. So I'll leave that to dry for a bit and I'll come back. Okay, so now it's dry, and now I'm going to introduce some colours. And I've got Lemon Meringue, Burning Bonfire from Indigo Blue, and I've got Artist Do Crafts Artist Dark Red. And I'm going to introduce these colours onto the background with a baby wipe. I just cut my baby wipe in half. And introduce the colours into the background. So I think we'll start. I'm just going to sweep across, introducing the colours. They just all blend in. What I'll do between the trees, I'll get a stipple brush and stipple through them. I just want to generally get the colours, to get the colour going. And I really like adding the colours with the baby wipes. It tones them down. Add a bit more yellow. I've managed to get rid of all the white, so I want to go back in with the red up the top here because I feel there's a bit too much orange up here, so I'll go back in again. So can you see? You can really blend it in. Almost reminds me of the desert sky. Over the Sahara or the Gobi Desert. I did plan on doing the background first, but I'm quite pleased that I've decided to do it the other way around. With having the tree there, I can get better perspective of colour. All I'm going to do is just tap this in instead of using a stipple brush, because I thought if I use a stipple brush it might damage my my stenciling. So I'm just going to pat in with the different colours. There we are, I've got rid of all the white, and now I'll just continue adding my colour. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. Oh, there's my red on. Just want to add a bit of red. Right, I think I'm pleased with that. I've got the colours that I quite like, all the autumnal colours. I'm really pleased with that. So I will just clean up, and then we'll give it a quick blast with the heat gun and go on to the next stage. And the leaves seem to have dried really nice with the Mod Podge on, so fingers crossed I'll be able to use that in this project as well. So I'll give that a quick blast with my heat gun. To make sure it's all dry. Okay, Koki. Now comes the part of deciding where I'm going to put everything. So I've got a couple of these little acorns, and I've got a pine cone, and I've got some stamped indigo blue leaves from their Blooming Great stamp set, and then I've got my, and it feels really, can you see, it feels really nice. I think I might put one of them up at the top there, just to, so now it's a case of deciding where you want everything to go. And I will use, I think I'll use the smaller ones of these, just to have them at the bottom of the tree. But in this corner I definitely want to, I mean, look at the colour of that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a really rich deep burgundy colour. It's stunning. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll pop that at the end there and nestle my acorns in. And my pine cone. And I've got a few little ones, and I can have these falling down from the tree branch, and have a couple of them up at the front, up at the top, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I quite like that one. I think we'll have that one and have the acorn in there. It's just nice to be able to play and just so I've got these leaves falling down from the tree like that, and I'll add a couple of leaves across the top. The acorn, or I could put the acorn under the tree actually. And this is the beauty of when you're compiling. I like to be able to play around with all the different elements before I actually stick them down, and then I know I'm happy. So I'll put them to one side because I will use them again. Just have the leaves there. And I always like to use silicone glue. It's the wrong syringe. That's it. A pin. So yeah, I use Pinflair glue gel, silicone. There's no smell to it, and I've used it for a long time, and I get really good results. So hopefully this will come out. Now it's got a stopper in it. Oh, it's not playing ball today. There we are. I think I've loosened it. Oh dear, it's not playing at all. Ah, there it is. There it is. That's it. Right, so I'll start popping things on and shaping my leaves. I really like creating backgrounds with shaving foam and just sprinkling brushos onto it. It's quite therapeutic and you get some amazing backgrounds. Oops. Yeah. So I don't want these up here. Just the continuation of the branch. Now I'll pop this on. I'm going to take this stem, just put the stem off. Just add a bit of silicone glue or pin flare to the leaf and sit it in the corner there. And sit me little acorns. Again, just snip these little stalks off. There we are. I'm really happy with that. And I've called this Autumn Leaves. So I've got my Tim Holtz Chit Chat, and I've got, it's on craft card, so it'll blend in really well. And it says Autumn Leaves I'm going with. Just pop that down. Get my food ball, black pen, oh I've got a brown one, and I'm just going to draw around it just to make it prominent. No, I need my food ball. So I've got my food ball and I'll just draw around just to make it stand out, prominent. And I'll sign it, date and sign it, which is 10/16. And there we have it, my Autumn Leaves canvas, using leaves from Virginia Creeper from my garden, stencils, paints, and This is my entry for stamps and stencils and other autumnal challenges as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're coming back again real soon. In the meantime, enjoy your autumn. Bye bye.